Rob, good evening everybody. I'm thrilled to be here on the Gold Coast this evening, and thank you to ABSA and the Gold Coast Film Festival for having both Rob and myself here tonight. Now, I think it might be helpful for me to give just a little bit of context to the film before it is screened. Now, some of you may have read or heard about how this film came about, but for those of you who haven't, it was a film that I didn't plan to make at all. I was making another film that I'd spent nearly 6 years working on, writing, imagining, planning, and we even got up to the stage of beginning shooting the film. We did preliminary photography, and the lead actor in that film was Benedict Samuel. And we got to a point and a little bit of money fell out, and we realised that it wasn't actually possible for us to continue shooting this film. So the film fell over. It wasn't the first film to ever fall over, and it certainly won't be the last, but it was obviously a very disappointing moment after spending so much time imagining this particular adventure. So when it did, I spent a very sleepless night thinking about the predicament that I found myself in, but not just myself. I thought about the two actors that have been cast in that film, Benedict and Emily Barclay. And as an actor myself, I knew what they had put into that film in terms of preparation, how much time they had put into envisaging creatively what they were going to do with those characters. So I felt for them. So this sleepless night, I thought about Benedict and Emily, but I also thought of an idea that had been mulling around in my brain for a long time, and that is to make an experimental film. And an experimental film, not experimental in subject matter, but in process itself. How films are actually made and constructed and conceived. So I came up with this idea that I pitched to Rob the next day, and Benedict and Emily, of 10 days, using 10 days, because we didn't have much money, and it's just like a little sniff of an oily rag that I knew that we self-funded this film, Rob and myself, there's no other money in this film. But we could afford 10 days, and 10 days was something that I thought was achievable. And how we did it was 3 days we spent in a workshop room, whereby we came up with a very simple idea for a narrative. And then we came up with two characters for Benedict and Emily. And we workshopped those characters in that little room. And I interviewed them on camera, and I drilled down into the characters' history. And then one day I actually took them out to lunch as their characters. And then I just threw them little topics of conversation to see how they'd go. And I thought, I think this could work. And then the next 7 days what I did is we went out into real operating environments, and we filmed sequentially this idea of this very simple narrative of these two people coming together. And the result of that experiment is what you're about to see, called Ellipsis. But what we did, we also put in place, because what I was experimenting with was, as I say, the process of film construction itself, but I was also experimenting with the very nature of performance. And in this film, there is Benedict and Emily, who are actors, and there are only two other actors in the film. Everybody else is real. Everything you see on the film, 95% of it is one take. There's no rehearsal, two cameras. So the result of that is Ellipsis. So hopefully enjoy it, and at the end of it, I'll be very interested to engage in conversation. Thanks very much for coming.